Sit. I didn't ask if you wanted to stand. I said sit down. You're shaking. There is absolutely no reason for you to be shaking yet. I haven't even started. Your midnight submission for the midterm analysis. You were the very last person to submit it, 2 minutes before the deadline. I assume you were rushing. I assume that's why you didn't check the attachment file name before you hit send. Look at the screen. I said look at it. Do your eyes work? Good, because mine certainly do. And at 2:30 in the morning, when I sat down to grade your specific paper, this is what opened on my monitor instead. Don't look away. You sent it to my faculty email. The least you can do is look at it. I am tenured. I sit on the disciplinary board. Do you have any concept, any idea at all of what happens to a student who submits multiple, highly explicit photographs of themselves to a professor? Expulsion is the baseline, the absolute baseline. But clearly, you haven't been expelled. You're sitting in my locked office at 6 in the evening, which should terrify you infinitely more than an academic hearing. Because I didn't delete the email, and I didn't report it. Tell me exactly who those were meant for. I asked you a question. Don't look at the floor. Answer me. A mistake. You attached the wrong folder entirely. That is a spectacular failure of basic executive function. I spent 30 minutes trying to rationalize it before I finally accepted that my star student is just careless. Did you think I wouldn't open it? Did you assume I just mark your name off a spreadsheet and throw the file in the trash? You sat in my lecture hall for 3 months, holding eye contact with me for an hour straight. You should know by now I miss absolutely nothing. Your hands are trembling. Put them in your lap. You're giving yourself away. Do you want to know what the academic handbook says about this kind of mistake? It says I am obligated, as a mandatory reporter for campus conduct, to submit this file directly to the dean's office for a Title IX review. You're not breathing. Breathe. I didn't send it to the dean. I saved the attachment to a local encrypted drive, because the very first thought I had when I opened that file wasn't about the integrity of the university. My first thought was that the lighting was terrible, and my second thought was entirely unprofessional. Stop apologizing. Are you even listening to me? I didn't say I was offended. I said I was unprofessional. There is a very specific, dangerous distinction between the two. No, we're not doing the crying thing. If you cry, I'm going to have to comfort you. And if I comfort you right now, I'm going to cross a line I can't come back from. So pull it together. I am speaking to you as your professor. For the next 5 minutes, I am your professor. I told you I didn't send the file to the dean. I also didn't delete it. I am sitting in this office with a drive containing 54 images of you in various states of undress. Do you know how much leverage that gives me? Do you know how effortlessly I could ruin you? You're looking at me like I'm a monster. Maybe I am, but you sent them to me. And I looked at every single one. I noticed the bruising on your knee in the 4th photo. I noticed the way you bite the inside of your lip when you're trying to look aloof in the 12th. You're a terrible actor in front of a camera. You always look like you're waiting for permission. Who gave you permission to take those? Because I certainly didn't. You're so tense, you look like you're going to snap. I haven't done anything to you. I haven't even raised my voice. All I've done is tell you exactly what you handed to me. It's devastating to know someone actually perceives you, isn't it? I teach 18th century literature. Do you have any idea how boring that is? It's entirely devoid of actual modern risk. But you are a walking liability. You come into my class, third row, dead center, always 10 minutes early, always looking perfectly, infuriatingly put together. And then you email me this. Tell me the truth, right now, because if I find out you're lying, the academic board won't be your biggest problem. I will be. Who were those photos taken for? An ex? You took 54 intimate photos to send to someone who isn't even in your life anymore? That is pathetic. Don't look at the floor. Look at me. I'm taking the grade penalty off the syllabus, but you owe me absolute honesty for the rest of this conversation. If you can't manage that, I will unlock this door, and you can spend the rest of the semester wondering if I'm grading you based on your thesis or your collarbone. Good. Now explain to me why you still had that folder saved anywhere near your academic coursework. You like the risk. You like knowing the file is right there while you write essays on comparative mythology. Don't lie to me. It's the only explanation that makes sense. You wanted to get caught. You just didn't expect to get caught by someone who actually knows what to do with the information. You're making this worse for yourself. You think you're apologizing. You think you're explaining away a mistake. All you're actually doing is reminding me of every single detail I spent 3 hours last night trying to surgically remove from my brain. You have a freckle right above your left hip bone. I know that now. I have no business knowing that. I'm supposed to be evaluating your understanding of postmodernism, and instead, all I can think about is what happens to your pulse when someone presses a thumb right over that freckle. Your eyes just dilated. I can see it from 3 feet away. The sudden shift in pupil size is a fascinating physiological response to adrenaline. Are you scared of me? Or are you just realizing how entirely trapped you are? I didn't lock the door to intimidate you. I locked it because the second someone walks past that frosted glass and sees the way I am looking at you right now, my entire career is over. There is no interpretation of my behavior right now that doesn't end with me packing my desk in a cardboard box. And the truly terrifying part is, I'm not opening the deadbolt. I told you I was going to be unprofessional. You're just starting to realize what that word actually means, coming from me. Get up. I said get up. Your bag is completely packed. Everything you need is already in your hands. You have exactly 30 seconds to walk out that door before I say something that completely alters the trajectory of both of our lives. Are you deaf? I told you to leave. Move. Go. Why are you just standing there? Don't cry. I told you what happens if you cry. I am at the absolute threshold of my self-control. I am hanging on by a goddamn thread. And if you shed one single tear in front of me right now, the thread snaps. You're not moving. The door is right there. I'll unlock it for you. All you have to do is turn the handle. Go. Go back to your dorm. Delete the email from your sent box. Pretend this conversation never happened. I will grade your finals objectively. You will never have to speak to me outside of a lecture hall again. You're still here. You know exactly what you're doing. You know what happens if you stay in this room after I've told you the consequences. If you let me close that deadbolt again, there is no going back to normal. I'm giving you one last chance to run. You stayed. You actually stayed. I told you exactly what was going to happen if you didn't leave, and you stood right there. You looked directly at me, and you chose this. You have absolutely no idea what you've just done to me. You have destroyed every single ounce of discipline I have spent 4 months trying to build. Don't look surprised. Stop looking at me like you don't know exactly what I'm talking about. You sit in the third row, directly in my line of sight, and tap your pen against your lip until I completely lose my place in the lecture. You know what you're doing. The photos. The photos were just the match. The gasoline trace has been soaking the floor of my mind since the first day you walked into my seminar. Do you know how many times I've had to stop reading an essay you submitted because all I could think about was the way you smell? It's vanilla and something else. Something dark. It drives me completely insane. I am a 32-year-old tenured academic. I have spent my entire life building this career. I have worked too hard to throw it away. And looking at you right now, I don't care at all. You could take a match to my entire life, and I would just ask you to hold the fire closer so I could see your face better. I've memorized you. I didn't want to. I tried, actively, not to. But you are impossible to look away from. I know that you hate the overhead lights in the lecture hall, because you always squint for the first 15 minutes of class. I know that you highlight your notes in 2 different colors, yellow for dates, blue for authors. I know that when you're genuinely confused by a concept, you tilt your head exactly 2 degrees to the left. I've spent more time analyzing your micro expressions than I have analyzing the actual text for my syllabus. It's pathological. I am thoroughly, undeniably obsessed with you. And then yesterday I opened my email, and there you are, looking at the camera with that exact same defiant expression you give me when I assign 30 pages of reading. Except this time, you're not wearing the blue sweater you always wear on Tuesdays. You're wearing nothing. Did you think about me when you took them? Answer the question honestly. I don't care who they were initially for. When you were taking them, did my face cross your mind even once? Your pulse is visibly hitting the side of your neck. You are terrified to answer that. Tell me yes. Tell me yes, and I will show you exactly what happens when you push a man pushed past the breaking point. You said yes. You actually said yes. You thought of me. You are so dangerous. You are a completely lethal variable in my life. You knew exactly what you were doing. The email wasn't a mistake at all, was it? Don't backtrack now. You just handed me the keys to my own destruction. You played the panicked student routine beautifully for the first 15 minutes. But you wanted this. You wanted to see me break. Congratulations. You broke me. I am standing here, fully prepared to torch 12 years of higher education for you. There is a university policy against faculty fraternizing with students. It states clearly that any intimate relationship creates a conflict of interest, an abuse of power, and immediate grounds for termination. I read that policy manual 3 times last night trying to talk myself out of this. I recited clauses to myself in the dark. It didn't work. The policy doesn't exist when you're in the room. The board of directors doesn't exist. My syllabus doesn't exist. There is only you, and the fact that you belong entirely to me now. Your eyes are so wide. You're finally realizing I'm not playing a game. This isn't an academic exercise. This isn't a scenario where you get to walk out of here and giggle with your friends about how flustered you made the strict professor. There is no going back from this. Look at me. Look directly in my eyes. The man standing in front of you right now is not the man who handed you a syllabus on syllabus day. The man standing in front of you is entirely ruined by you. Your phone. Give me your phone. Right now. Unlock it. Do it. Go to the camera roll. Find those photos. Select all of them. Delete them. All 54. Now open the deleted folder and wipe them from there too. I don't want them existing anywhere else. Those images don't belong to your camera roll. They don't belong to whoever you might have sent them to in the past. They belong exclusively to the encrypted drive on my hard disk. No one else will ever look at them. No one else is allowed to have you like this.
You deleted them.
You didn't even argue with me. You just deleted them. Your obedience is terrifying. Do you know that? The way you just surrender control when I demand it. It makes me want to demand entirely too much. You're not going back to my class tomorrow. I'm transferring you. Quietly. I'll put you in Dr. Harrison's section for the rest of the term. He's an easy grader, and he doesn't know you. Don't pout. I'm not doing it to punish you. I'm doing it to protect you. Because if you sit in the third row tomorrow, knowing what I said to you tonight, knowing that I have 54 photos of you burned into the back of my eyelids, I won't be able to teach a single sentence. And more importantly, I am not going to let this be a cheap campus scandal. I am not going to let people whisper about you in the library. What we are doing is entirely, aggressively private. I'm going to take you to dinner, at a place off campus where no one knows us. I'm going to buy you flowers. And then I'm going to bring you to my apartment and show you exactly what it means to be mine. Does that sound acceptable to you? You nodded. You actually said yes. You are going to be the absolute death of me. I hope you know that. I have never been more certain that someone was going to ruin my life, and I have never scrambled so desperately to hand them the matches. Your face is flushed. Your ears are completely red. It's beautiful. The fact that I caused that reaction in you, it's the only academic accomplishment I've ever actually cared about. The panic from earlier, it's entirely gone now, isn't it? Good. I didn't want to terrify you. I just needed you to understand the absolute severity of the stakes. I needed you to realize that once that door locked, reality changed. And it has. The syllabus is gone, the titles are gone. It's just you. And a man who has spent entirely too much time staring at your name on his roster. You look exhausted. Adrenaline is a brutal come down. Your shoulders are finally dropping. You're safe. You were always overwhelmingly safe with me. Even when I was interrogating you, I was already protecting you. Every question I asked was just an excuse to keep you in this room a little longer. I'm not going to touch you tonight. Not like that. Not here. I'm going to take you completely away from this campus first. You deserve more than a secret caught in a basement faculty office. You deserve to be claimed in the open. I've been planning this conversation for 4 months. I didn't think it would happen tonight. I certainly didn't think it would involve an email attachment of you in a bathtub. Don't hide your face. Look at me. You have absolutely nothing to be embarrassed about. They were beautiful. every single one of them. And the fact that I'm the only person who gets to keep them is the greatest privilege of my completely uneventful existence. I'm going to send an email to the registrar in the morning. I'll authorize an administrative transfer. I'll tell them it's to avoid a grading conflict. It takes 2 days to process. The second that transfer clears the system, I am showing up at your dorm, and I won't be carrying a stack of midterms. I'm trying to decide where to take you. Somewhere quiet. Somewhere with horrible lighting, so no one can see exactly how possessive I look when someone else tries to talk to you. You think I'm joking. You're smiling like you think I'm exaggerating to make a point. I'm not. You have no idea what it feels like to watch you walk across the quad and know that legally, ethically, I am not allowed to tell the person next to you to back off. That ends this week. The silence ends this week. The distance ends this week. This is exactly what I meant when I said things were going to change. Put your coat on. It's late. The building has been empty for hours. Don't rush. You're clumsily dropping your scarf. Slow down. No one is coming. There is absolutely no one left in the humanities wing but us. You don't have to be afraid of being caught. You're shivering. Lean completely against the desk. For just 1 second, let the tension go. I'm right here. I know it feels surreal. The power dynamic flip, the sudden realization that the man standing at the chalkboard analyzing Shakespeare is actually just entirely, desperately consumed by you. It's terrifying to drop the act. But the relief, the immense, crushing relief of finally being able to say it out loud, it makes the risk completely irrelevant. You look perfectly warm now. The color is back in your cheeks. You look exactly like the girl who emailed me at 2 in the morning, blissfully unaware that she was about to ruin my professional boundaries forever. I'm going to walk you to your car. I'm going to walk exactly 3 feet behind you like a responsible faculty member. I am not going to hold your hand in the parking lot. But the second you get inside your car, I want you to lock the doors and remember exactly what my eyes looked like when the deadbolt clicked in here.
The door is open.
You don't have to look at me differently when we walk down the hallway. Just keep walking. Don't look back. I said, don't look back. Every time you look at me like that, I physically forget how to breathe. You're doing it on purpose now. Go straight home. Text me when you get inside. You don't have my number. That's right. You only have my faculty email. How horribly tragic. Take this. Put it in your pocket. Do not lose it. Do not put it under the wiper blade of your car. Text me the second you walk through your front door. I will be awake. I will be awake, staring at the ceiling and completely obsessing over this conversation until my phone vibrates. I am never going to recover from tonight. I hope you know that. You came into my office terrified of me, and you're leaving with my entire sense of reason wrapped around your finger. Drive carefully. Read your textbook tonight. And remember, I'm keeping them. They're mine. Good night.
You actually opened the door.
I told you I'd be here at 7, and when I knocked, half of me was convinced you were going to pack your bags and transfer universities in the middle of the night. I got your text last night when you got home from my office. I read it about 40 times. I didn't sleep a single minute. I just stared at the ceiling for 24 straight hours, waiting for the sun to come up so I could legally remove myself from your academic life. It's done. I filed the paperwork at 8 o'clock this morning. Dr. Harrison approved it by noon. You are officially enrolled in his section, your coursework transferred, and your name removed from my roster. You have no idea how light I feel. It feels like I haven't taken a full breath in 4 months, and now you're just standing there in my favorite sweater. Did you wear that on purpose? You know exactly what it does to my peripheral vision when you wear it to lecture. And you chose to wear it when you knew I was coming to your door. You are a menace, a completely terrifying menace. Get your shoes. Look at me, right in the eyes. I'm not here to drop off lecture notes. I'm not here for office hours. You are no longer my student. I'm here because I am taking you back to my apartment, and I am not taking no for an answer. Your pulse just spiked again. Good. That's exactly the reaction I came here for. I spent 24 hours agonizing over whether I pushed you too hard yesterday. But looking at you right now, you're not terrified. You're exactly where you want to be. Let's go. My car is running. You're very quiet. Turn the heat up a few degrees if you're cold. But judging by the way you're holding your hands in your lap, I don't think it's the temperature. You didn't ask where we were going. I told you to get in my car, and you just got in. I could be driving us halfway across the state right now. Your absolute blind trust in me is going to give me a heart attack. Do you do this with everyone? Or is it just a specific failure of self-preservation where I'm concerned? Don't worry. I'm taking you to my place. I made dinner. Or rather, I tried to make dinner. I got distracted staring at the wall in my kitchen for 45 minutes, replaying exactly what you sounded like when the deadbolt clicked yesterday. You're smiling. Turn your head this way. I want to see you smile. That's better. I spent a semester glaring at you from behind a podium while you scowled at my syllabus. Seeing you actually smile at me, it's doing dangerous things to my ego. We're here. My unit is on the top floor. It's quiet. I don't entertain guests. Ever. The most exciting thing that happens in my apartment is grading midterms and drinking terrible espresso at 3 in the morning. Until tonight. Everything changes tonight. And the best part is, I don't have to grade you anymore to have an excuse to look at you. We're here. Go ahead, walk in. You're looking around like you expected me to live in an actual cave. I know my office is dark, but I do actually own lamps. Let me take your coat. You're still shivering a little. The adrenaline from yesterday hasn't completely left your system yet, has it? You're still waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're still waiting for me to suddenly turn back into Professor Zen and hand you a syllabus. That's never going to happen. You broke that version of me permanently. He doesn't exist anymore. Your eyes went straight to my desk. Don't worry, I didn't frame the photos. They're exactly where I told you they were, on an encrypted drive that I am the only person on this planet with the password to. And I don't need to look at them tonight. Because you're standing right here in my living room. Come here. You look so small in my apartment. I spent the entire drive home trying to convince myself to take this slowly, trying to convince myself that I should just make you tea and sit on the opposite end of the couch like a gentleman. But then I look at you, and I don't want to be a gentleman at all. I just want to be yours. I could sit here for the rest of my life, just right here, with you exactly where you are. You have no idea how much power you have over me, do you? You still look at me like I'm the one in charge, like I'm the authority figure who holds all the cards. It is the greatest joke of my entire life. I stood in front of that lecture hall for 100 hours this semester, projecting absolute, unshakable control, and the entire time, my heart rate would spike every single time you looked away from the projector and looked at me. You are the anchor. You're the center of gravity. I am just orbiting. I have been orbiting since the second week of class. Don't. Don't look at me like that. When you look at me like that, with your eyes entirely soft and completely unguarded, it makes me want to do things that would get me arrested in 7 different countries. I spent my entire 20s studying literature. I spent thousands of hours reading about men who waged wars and burned down cities for the people they loved. I used to think it was hyperbolic nonsense. I understand it now. I understand it completely. If someone tried to take you out of this apartment right now, they would have to kill me first. I am entirely, helplessly anchored to you. Your eyes are closing. Don't fight it. You don't have to stay awake for me. You've been running on pure cortisol for 36 hours. Your body is finally realizing that the threat is gone. You're safe. You're the safest you have ever been in your entire life. The transfer paperwork is going to clear tomorrow. I'm going to walk into the humanities building, and I'm not going to look for you in the 3rd row. Because I won't have to. Because I'm going to see you when I wake up, and I'm going to see you when I come home. You feel perfectly warm. The weight of you, right here, it's the only thing tethering me to the earth right now. I'm so tired. The adrenaline crash is hitting me. I spent half the night staring at a computer screen and the other half pacing my office, trying to figure out how to lock the door so you couldn't run away from me. I am a terrifyingly obsessive man. And you sent me an email attachment that proved you didn't mind. I've got you. I'm right here. I'm never letting you go. Whatever you need, whatever you want, it's yours. I'm yours. Good night, my beautiful disaster. Sleep.